Before we dive into the gameplay, I just wanted to say this: Albion Online is the best MMO I've ever played. And the reason I say this is I've seen a few comments lately from people that were feeling a bit burned out, and hey, that's natural, but I wanted to share a bit of my wild-eyed wonder in case it can rekindle yours. I've played ESO. I loved Cyrodiil, that massive open world battlefield where PvP actually felt like a war. It was the best. Well, second best now. I've played New World. Great combat, but the open world PvP was weak. What grabbed me was the Iron Man survival, just gathering, crafting, surviving, where everything you found in the world really meant something. It felt like you were living and breathing your story, but no one even played it that way. And then there's Albion, the best of both worlds. Albion brings those two elements together seamlessly. It's open world PvP meets survival sandbox. Every item is player crafted, every economy is player driven, and the best resources, you'll only find them in the most dangerous PvP zones. And that, my friends, is synergy. Between survival and risk, between crafting and combat, it makes Albion feel alive. It's not just about progression, it's about impact. Everything you do matters. You write your story in a living, breathing world where your actions matter. So here's my story. Join me as I gather, craft, fight, and fail my way forward and carve the Camo Chameleon Merchant King story into the world of Albion Online.
You have found your place in Albion. Everybody matters.
So in the last episode, my viewers voted for me to sign up to Carleon in my adept gear. It started off well, but ended badly. Very, very badly. In the end, I was broke again and had literally no resources. But for some reason, my viewers took pity on me, and I finally got to move back to Limhurst. And that's where my story begins today, through the rebuilding of Camo Chameleon to Merchant King. And as you can see, I'm already one step closer, having got my lumberjack to journeyman. But now that he's a journeyman, I need to make him happy, and the way that I do that is by getting him a journeyman trophy, which you can see here. And so basically then I'll go out, fill the book up, by collecting logs, come back, give it to him, and then he'll go get his trophy, and that'll make him happier. And the happier he is, the more resources he brings back, so it's really important. But before I do that, I've got another more important task. I've got a date with linen collecting, or I guess flower collecting. You can see here that my flower collecting, gathering is almost close to 20%, so I'm able to get it up to expert after that. So that is what I'm focusing on. So I finally get it to 20. And there's my little, and I use my learning points to invest in it, and now I can start harvesting the expert stuff. I can harvest the expert stuff and everything now. And then it's off to the forest to fill up that book for our friend the lumberjack back at base camp. And then the final step in the chain is I hand him his book, and then off he goes to collect his trophy. The next day I go into his house, and then he's finally got the trophy, so I put it in there, and then that'll make him like really happy, which indirectly makes me really happy. What are you doing back out in the forest chopping down wood again, Camo, you might ask? Well, let me tell you, I need this wood because if I can get more wood, I can finally make my adept tools. And if I can make my adept tools, I can finally get those T5 resources that I just spent all that time putting learning points into to level them up. In the last video, I asked you guys to choose my main weapon going forward, to leave comments, and I put up a poll, so you have all voted, and so later on in this video it will be revealed which weapon you chose. See, from all that wood gathering, I was able to refine my wood, and then make some axes, and then study some axes, and then I was able to get adept lumberjack crafting, which means I can now make my adept axe. Because I've got the wood, I just repeat that process for all of my crafting gear, so now I'm able to make the adept tools, and that's exactly what I do. I make all of my adept tools, so now I am 100% adeptified. I've got the cape, the bag, adept tools, everything, and I've got the adept armor, the adept weapon. So now I'm fully locked in adept, and my future is expert. I need to upgrade my house, and I need to go get more bluestone in order to do that. And that's actually a good thing, because even though I got all the other craft gathering skills up to adept, stone cutting was the only one I didn't. I've always said, if you want to know the morals of a person, if you want to know, like if I was an employer and I was employing someone, I would get someone to play an MMO, and that's where you'll see their true nature. Much like this next person you're about to see, who just comes and just clearly, I'm taking the resources, there's plenty of other resources around, and they still decide to take it from me. It really ticked me off. I was so tilted by this disgusting display of immoral behavior that I flagged myself up, so if I saw them again, I just bonked them across the head with my axe. I didn't even care if I lost. In fact, I expected to, but my kind of plan was, if I could just follow them around and bonk them over the head with the axe every time they were trying to collect a resource and stop them from getting it, and then survive as long as I could to keep doing it to them, I'd be happy. Unbeknownst to me, my bags were completely full, and when someone attacks you, your bear disappears. So when someone attacked me, I thought, by gee, their slow lasts a really long time. When's this gonna wear off? Although now I'm looking at the video, it looks like he didn't realize he was overloaded as well, because like he's walking slowly. So, blind leading the blind, really. Anyway, I finally make it up to the finance of Khan Dark, I'm getting all that stone cutting done, and then I hit, yeah, my learning point is reached for the adept warrior, so of course I nabbed that, and now I'm fully adept in everything. I know I keep saying that, but this time it's for real. I finally return safely to Limhurst, I break down those rocks, and then I head over to my house and I finally get the upgrade, so now my house is even adept. So I get my adept bed and my adept table and even a little adept wolf rug that I got on my journeys, and I place them caringly and lovingly within the house for my lumberjack to be happy. Then I think to myself, my lumberjack really needs a friend, so I hire a mercenary and I put him in, because mercenaries basically make money, so it's like free money, so why not? So now we've got 2 laborers. In hindsight, I think I should have got because I've already got the lumberjack that gets the wood, and then I should have got the other laborer that refines the wood, and that way they could have fed to each other, you know, like one of them would go and get the wood and the other one refines it. So I might actually rectify that at some point. So after the mercenary set himself up, I go get his book to get his trophy. It'll just be a novice trophy, and I can just go do a basic dungeon, so it's really easy, no dramas. So I'm casually walking down the road, and then this little roguey ganker tries to get me off my bear. He doesn't stand a hope in hell. But One of the reasons I put on an axe is to finally be brave for once in my life and not be a coward, to not run from every fight. And so as I'm running from this fight, I think to myself, no, Camo, no, you get off that bear and you take the fight even though you know you're gonna lose. And so I come back to him with an axe in hand and I take the fight. Listen, the victory here was the fact that I got off that ox and I took the fight, and that's what I intend to do every time I wear an axe. If I'm wearing a dagger or a bow, fine, I can be a coward. But when I put on that axe, I'm a brawler, and I'm not gonna back down from any fights. You hear me? So I finally make it to the dungeon, and the mercenary book fills up real quick, and I fight the boss. And I must say, I quite enjoy PvEing on the battle axe much more than the daggers or the bows. It's just so cool PvEing on the battle axe. You definitely feel like a warrior. But yeah, I finish off the boss, fill up my book, and so I'm good to go. So I give my mercenary his little trophy book and then send him on his ways into the world to get it. So I've got so much blue adept tier 4 leather that I decide, okay, it's time to start working on my expert stuff. So the first thing I do is I just make a whole bunch of helmets and I study them and I get all 10 levels on my adept, and then I can finally make expert hoods, which is awesome. The problem is I don't have the expert mats to actually make the hood, so that will be the next job for me. Yeah, this is the stuff. Nice tier 5 red leather for my hood. Yeah, I'm definitely getting more confident with the battle axe and that nice AoE skill. I just use it all the time, and I'm just pulling bigger and bigger mobs. And I feel like such a bruisery guy. It's like a warrior of the steeps right now. It's incredible. Yeah, I do a seriously long mission down here collecting the leather, but it's because I know that if I get all the leather now, I can make all my expert gear. And then I find this treasure chest, and I'm like, please no one take it, please no one take it, please no one take it. And then no one takes it, I'm like, yes! And then I open it, and I'm like, ugh. Look who can make expert leather! Yeah, so after an incredibly long session getting hides, I finally get my reward, and I get a bunch of expert leather and a bunch of T4 leather. At this time, it's time to get my leather jackets up to tier 5. So I make a bunch of tier 5 jackets, just the usual, and I study them. And then I'm finally able to lock in that leather jacket crafter, so I can finally make my first bit of expert equipment, which is a leather jacket. Mercenary jacket to be specific, because it's cheap and it has that nice heel, and I've got a battle axe on me at the moment. And I also make the hunter's hood because I really like the retaliate skill on that. And then the only thing left I need for my armor is the boots, which is my next focus. Alright, we did a vote. I gave you, the viewers, the decision for my main weapon from here on out. And my argument was basically I could go daggers or bow and stick to my more cowardly playstyle, which is how I typically play because I'm a big coward, or I'm gonna go battle axe, and I'm gonna train that out of my brain, and I'm gonna take on every fight, no matter how hard, not even worrying about checking what gear they're wearing. Just, you're there, I will fight you with this axe, and develop that confidence and that bruiser mentality, so I stop running on every fight. And you voted, and there was a very, very clear winner from the comments and from the poll, and you decided I was going to be the brave warrior, and you chose battle axe. And that is why you're seeing me chopping down all these tier 5 trees, because I need them to make my final weapon. Now, don't be complaining when I take on stupid fights and lose, okay? And yes, this is a case of foreshadowing. Alright, so I got back and I refined all the tier 5 wood. Oh, I'm so excited. And then I have to get my battle axe up to tier 5, which I get here with the learning points. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. The new confident, maybe overconfident Camo Chameleon, the warrior, is born.
Sure.
Are you guys scared? Eh? Are you a little scared now? And of course, I need to get my horn, my mist caller up to tier 5, so I go through that whole process again. And again, I get my boots up to tier 5 as well. And so now I'm really getting that expert gear all leveled up. Now I could end it there. I mean, I have my weapons and I have my armor, but you know, it's just, I just don't have the bag and I don't have the cape and expert, and it just doesn't quite seem like it's all experts. So it's back on the road again one last time so we can finish off and get everything an expert. Look, someone's died. Wouldn't catch me dying now on Battle Axe main. There's another dead person. Yes, I'm aware that there are enemies nearby, but I'm a Battle Axe main now, and this is where I get to test my mettle. I am no coward. And I see the two enemies in front of me, and they leave me alone, and I could easily run away, but I said I would take on every fight, and by God, I will take on every fight. Hey, look, there's another dead person. So I brush myself off, get back into the desert, and then start getting those hides, and I think I needed some linen. Now, I've got a question to ask you all, and if you could answer in the comments, it would be great. I've been thinking about doing some Twitch streams a few times a week. Would you be interested in watching? Would you be interested in watching me rather on Twitch? That's option A. Would you rather be interested in watching me on stream on YouTube, which would be option B? Or are you just not really interested in watching me stream at all? Which would be fair enough, because some people just like watching videos. If you could leave a comment and let me know, because I'm trying to gauge if people would be interested in that sort of thing. Because if I get enough responses, then I will definitely do it. I'm not gonna lie, but when I'm surrounded by resources like this, I get a little excited. So I get back to Limhurst, and I think you know the drill by now. Refine the resources, I get my cape and my bags leveled up, and then I finally make my tier 5 bag and cape, and now I've gone from being not even all adept to all expert, and I think that is an epic way to finish off this video.